couple weeks ago, I went to the biggest Magic event here in Canada to play some Commander. They charge different entrance fee based on the power level of your deck. In this case, it's $6 for bracket 1 and 2 and $12 for bracket 3 and 4. I signed up to play in bracket 3 and let other players know I was playing a mono red aggro deck, and then this happened. Okay, I will move to combat. Gogo becomes a copy of Twin Flame Tyrant and I will swing at you in the air for 40 damage. Oh come on dude, it's turn 5, just stupid mono red. Okay, I get it. It sucks when you pay $12 and get killed in the first 15 minutes. But guys, I really need your help. How do you play mono red aggro in Commander? According to the new bracket system, in bracket 3, you're not supposed to lock someone out before turn 6, and in bracket 2, it's turn 8. Playing aggro in bracket 4, I don't think that's a good idea either. So if my deck is built to eliminate someone early, and I'm not supposed to, what am I even doing here? I've been a Dimir control player for years, but recently I decided to challenge myself to build my first mono red commander deck with Gogo Mysterious Mime for bracket 3. The deck is very explosive, and if everything goes well, I can start taking out player on turn 5 without any fast mana. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean I can end the game right away. I quickly become the threat at the table after dealing tons of damage, and one removal spell is enough to put me back to the Stone Age. This makes me question myself, how am I supposed to play aggro in Commander? I know this sounds stupid, but my first thought was actually sandbagging. I'm not going for lethal even if I have all the pieces in my hand, and I'm not going to break the bracket expectation by locking someone out before turn 6. I thought it would be similar to playing a combo deck. I don't fire off my combo until I have a counter spell to back me up, right? However, I quickly realized that mono red is different from other colors and is not good at playing a long game. Mono red aggro is all about speed. We want to put pressure on our opponents before they stabilize. The longer the game goes, the more resources our opponents have compared to us. Card advantage, mana advantage, and even small utility creatures can stop us from attacking. It is much harder for us to push full combat damage in the late game than the early turns. Compared to other 1v1 formats, we are not only dealing with a total of 120 life, but also 3 times more removal and protection. It feels really bad when they kill my commander and I need to spend 6 mana to recast him. So here comes my second thought. What if I build a deck differently? Instead of focusing on pure aggro, what if I play more mid-range style and make it less of a gas cannon? As a control player, I know there are 2 things I need here: card advantage and RAM. Then I start digging through my collection. What card draw options do we actually have? Big Score and Unexpected Windfall are the first 2 cards that come to mind. They are spells that actually give us card advantage and mana advantage. I also find Clive Iffy Dominant, which can refuse our hand and provides a powerful ability if we manage to transform him. Other than this card, honestly, I couldn't find much. I know you might be screaming at me now, why don't you want Faithless Looting and feel a possibility? To me, they provide card selection, but not true card advantage. Even something like Valakut Awakenings looks good at first, but it doesn't actually draw us extra cards. I decide to play this card anyway because we don't have many options in mono red. But to better utilize them and turn them into real card advantage, we need to build a small support package around the discard strategy. Bed of Holding and Containment Construct are amazing at minimizing the downside of discarding. On top of that, I'm playing Humble Defector and Howling Mime. I know they are not ideal, but it's better to give our opponents an extra card than to top deck and hope to draw into something. I even went further to play Sandstone Oracle, which actually surprised me with how many cards I draw from it. I also want to mention Connecting the Dots. I think this card is underrated. I feel like this is one of the best cards in my Gogo deck if I can drop it early. When looking at the RAM option in mono red, it's actually not as bad as I thought. Obviously, we can play mana rocks and cost reducers like the Fire Crystal and Ruby Medallion. A late game mana geyser can easily give us 20 plus mana. The problem is that it's very difficult to utilize all this mana if we don't have card advantage to support it. Professional Face Breaker is probably the best card that gives us both mana and card advantage, but it still feels bad to sacrifice a treasure token for Impulse Draw. Speaking of Impulse Draw, it's a very unique way for Red to gain card advantage. I really like the design, especially when it allows us to play the exile card until end of our next turn. Tectonic Giant is a good example. He has a decent body and has two very relevant abilities, dealing damage or Impulse Draw. However, it still doesn't guarantee that we can cast the spell we exile. Maybe the mana cost is too high, or we just don't want to cast that spell at that moment. On top of that, we are basically telling our opponents what we can do next turn. If they see us exile a Basilisk, they may kill us before we have a chance to cast it, or they might choose to deploy other pieces instead of more creatures. As a control player, I hate giving information away. Impulse Draw feels like playing with my hand face up. Some other Impulse Draw like Lalia the Brave Reforged only allows us to play the exile card this turn, which forces us to make the decision immediately. It's now or never. I mean, she is a very solid 2-drop creature in mono red, but I always feel bad casting her on turn 2 because I know whatever I exile that turn, I probably won't be able to cast it. The other core issue in mono red is a lack of resilience, especially board protection. There are a few decent single target redirect spells, but they don't really fit well in mono red. If we draw them early, they are dead cards. If we hit them off Impulse Draw, they become kind of useless. The opportunity cost of holding a mana in mono red is higher than any other color. Unlike blue players, if their opponents don't interact, they can use that open mana to cast other spell at instant speed. With a lack of card draw and instant speed interaction in red, we just don't have that flexibility. I do play some protection pieces like Midfield Coat and Commander Plate because they help Gogo survive combat and provide evasion. We all know board wipes are devastating, but they are especially bad for mono red. White can phase everything out. Green gives indestructible to its creatures. Black has graveyard recursion. Blue just counter it. But red, we mostly just watch everything die. And it's very difficult for us to recover because of everything I mentioned earlier. If we want to win with mono red, I feel like we need to rely on a good opening hand. Other colors can dawdle a bit and build card advantage over time to put themselves in a better position. But in red, if we keep a less optimal hand, we will struggle and get outvalued by our opponents. We basically have to hope the table doesn't interact with us and leave us alone. I know I talk a lot of trash about mono red, but do I enjoy playing mono red in Commander? Absolutely yes. We all know red is considered weak in Commander, maybe even the weakest color. But perhaps that's exactly why I want to play it, and why I'm excited to find unique pieces to support it. The deck building process is fascinating and allows me to explore cards that I never considered before. I remember finding a copy of Seize the Spoil in my collection and wondering if the card was good. It's a 3-mana sorcery, draw 2 cards and create a treasure token, but as an additional cost, discard a card. If this were a blue card, I would trash it immediately, but because it's red and looks so similar to Big Score and Unexpected Windfall, it made me think twice. And of course, I eventually realized that the card is just bad, but that's not the point. The point is that playing mono red opened my eyes. It taught me how to evaluate cards differently based on the color identity, and I had so much fun from deck building to actually playing mono red. Maybe the problem isn't mono red, but the commander. If I change my commander from Gogo to Clive or Tanuk, the deck might function better. I mean, I'm still very new to the mono red territory, and I need more time to study everything. But overall, it has been a really fun experience. Let me know what you think about mono red. Is aggro actually viable in Commander? Or are we forcing it to be something it's not? If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and I will see you guys next time.